What problem are you working to solve?
When I think about the problem I'm trying to solve, I don't really think I'm trying to solve a problem, but I am trying to the best of my ability, wield, leverage, grow, enhance the image of education to become the powerful force that it is, and not to be sort of limited by what we might think of education as, like rote learning or the kinds of things that most of us were exposed to early on. How so many kids are so excited to go to school and they get to third and fourth grade and they're afraid to go to school or they don't want to go to school. By high school, there's, people are dropping out. There are so many ways that a really robust and exciting and cool way of educating could definitely help the system of schooling. But I'm thinking of education, it's the leverage point, to use our kind of systems language, the leverage point I want to use to the best of my ability.
So I'd love to know how humane education became the focus of your passion for education and what brought you sort of ultimately to the Institute for Humane Education and dedicating your career in education to this kind of education.
So I'm not even sure if the definition of humane ed was as refined as it is now. But I got that this was the kind of education that was not only going to help us critically think about the world, but was going to be asking us to specifically think about the impacts of the way we lived our lives, our actions, the work that we did on these three key groups. Humans, like ourselves and human communities. So there's like this human rights piece, and then this environmental piece. And I've come to think of this as something different than environmental sustainability, but at the time, that's what I thought of it as. And animal protection or animal rights. And I remember really having a moment of understanding that for me, in the place I was at that time in my sort of development, in my own vocational development, thinking of education as far outside of classrooms and all the different ways we can educate and advocate, I thought of it as this is putting education, the way I think of education, to its ultimate use.
Watch Solutionary Voices on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other major streaming platforms.